Hi everyone, I'm Loli Jane and I am an animal communicator and energy healer for animals and their humans. So I'm happy to share with you today. Today we're going to talk about mirroring. I know I've mentioned it briefly in my other videos and some of my other Q&A talks, but we're going to talk about specifics today. So I got my summer hairdo, curly hairdo. So mirroring is sometimes, a lot of times, people will say my animal is acting in a certain way, like my animal has anxiety issues. They'll call me and say my animal has certain anxiety issues, or my animal worries a lot or something. And I tell them the next question that I usually ask when I'm interviewing the client is, what are the actual behaviors? Because sometimes we think that it's the animal's issue because they're acting a certain way, and it's not necessarily their issue. So when I interview and I ask, what are the behaviors? I get the actual behaviors. When I communicate directly with the animal, I won't say, why do you worry a lot? Or why are you feeling anxiety? I will say, how are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? And how are you feeling when you're doing these certain behaviors? Those are where the behaviors come in handy, when I know those. So I say, how are you feeling when you're doing these certain behaviors? If the behaviors look like anxiousness or worry, then they'll tell me, and I'll say, why do you feel this way? And sometimes they'll tell me a specific cause that they feel a certain way, and in that case, it may be their issue. There may be a cause that they actually do feel anxiety, or they actually do feel worry, or something that you already know that they feel. Sometimes they'll say, I don't know why I feel this way, or I don't know. And then I will ask, are you trying to show or tell your person something by acting this way? And usually the telltale sign that it is mirroring is I'll get an answer like, yeah, I'm trying to show my person what they're like, or I'm just trying to show my person that their behavior, or they're anxious, or they have a lot of fear, or whatever the behavior is. So then we'll delve into the mirroring. So that's a classic example of how I find out if it's a mirroring thing or if it's a personal issue that they're having. So there's a lot of different types of mirroring. The example that I gave is like a behavioral type. So there's several different mirroring things that can go on. So one of them is physical mirroring. They can mirror your physical health issues, physical things that are going on with your appearance. Amazing as it sounds, they can emulate like facial scars or something that happened. Like if you have a wound somewhere, sometimes they will mirror that wound for you. It sounds like magic, but it's just an amazing gift from your animal of service. Sometimes it's a physical issue. So I always give this example. I have a client who their cat had an impacted bowel, and the cat itself was treated for years with vet, going to the vet, them trying to diagnose what was wrong, change of the diet, the fiber in the diet, all of that stuff. Tried everything. She tried everything. The cat had to have enemas and all of that stuff, and it never really went away, and it was actually getting worse. And I communicated with the cat, and I asked the questions that I shared with you, and it was brought up that not only were they mirroring their person, but they were mirroring the female family lineage in the family. So basically, the human client, also had an impacted bowel. Her mother had an impacted bowel, and her mother's mother had an impacted bowel, and it had to do with anger at their their mothers, basically, up through the family line. And I mean, you would never connect something like an impacted bowel to being angry at your mother, right? But I don't make judgments or assumptions when I do communication sessions. That's why animal communicators are of such value, because you might think it's one thing and you might treat this one thing for a long time, spend a lot of money, trying to get a diagnostic and treatment on all that stuff, and it's completely different. So guess what? So I did a session with the human, with the client, on her issues with her mother and all of that stuff. I do soul healing also. I do healing for the pets and the animals, humans too. So I do deep soul healing with people. I also do energy healing. I do what's called pranic psychotherapy, which is emotional issues, using pranic healing, which is external qigong. And I also do crystal healing. So I work on the soul level with people, helping them do deep dives in their life and get rid of their issues. But the animal is this perfect, beautiful mirror doing service for you. So that's an example of a physical issue. So with that example, guess what? So she got relief and she let go and forgave her mother, and actually had a talk with her mom. Her mom shared the same thing, how she felt with her mom. Their impacted bowel went away, and guess what? The cat no longer had an impacted bowel. No treatment necessary after years of an impacted bowel. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So that's a physical example. And like I said, they can mirror physical impairments in your body. They can mirror if you have an arthritis condition or something going on in your body. They can mirror it. It may not be their condition. It might be yours. And I'll tell you what to do after we find out it's mirroring. But let me give some other examples, and then we'll find out what can be done to have the animals release this, okay? So mirroring is like very important thing with animal communication and what I call interspecies therapy. So what I do and what we do together with your soul furry animal companions is we do interspecies therapy. Okay, the next kind of mirroring is like a behavioral personality traits. So like certain personality traits could show up. Like say somebody in the family is very, very angry and almost aggressive. Well, this can be mirrored by an animal showing you what it is that you need to look at. So until we figure out that this is a mirroring situation, you may blame the dog, you may go to dog training, you may blame the cat, you go to, training with your horses may exhibit certain behaviors, or your birds, or whatever animals that you're close to. Your pot-bellied pigs, whatever animals you have, they may exhibit this anger, agitation, whatever, aggressiveness. And we may be working on the aggression from the animal, but it has nothing to do with the animal. Again, if I determine it's a mirroring thing, then we can work on it from there. So basically, we will go back to the person and find out where the anger lies, what can be done, if I can help with any of the sessions that I do, if I can help the person. But knowledge is everything. So once you can know this, you can't unknow it, and you can then begin to work on yourself and then release the animal from the burden of having to mirror these things so you can see it. Our animals that are in the human realm work with us in service. They're in great, great, great service to us. So they're working with us on the service level, and this is one of the services that they provide, okay? So another type of mirroring is, let's talk about emotional mirroring. So if you have certain things that are emotional, like say you have like abandonment issues, or maybe lack of self-care, or fears, your animal can mirror this by showing the same thing, showing that what looks like to you behaviors that look like abandonment, like when you're leaving the house, the dog will freak out every time you leave the house and show you that you have some abandonment issues, that it's very, very, very afraid because you're leaving or you're going on a trip or whatever. And showing you that if it is in fact a mirroring case, like I said, I don't know until I talk to the animal, because sometimes it is not. It's not always, okay? So if we do determine together that it is a mirroring thing, then that repeated behavior of, like, for instance, the abandonment thing will show up every time you leave the house, every time you leave the room. The animal will follow you around the room and it will act like it's abandoned. You know, this animal will act like it's abandoned. It will follow you everywhere. You know, traumatized horses, they may or may not be exhibiting their own behavior. They may be exhibiting your abandonment issues also. So that is one example. It could be lack of self-care. So if you're taking care of everyone else all the time, and you're not caring for yourself, you're not stopping and doing something for yourself, your animal can show this to you by not taking care of themselves. Like, they'll stop grooming. They won't groom anymore because they'll show you that you're not grooming either. You're not taking care of yourself, so I'm not going to take care of myself. They'll stop grooming. They'll stop, you know, they may not feed themselves properly. They just won't care for themselves. They won't pick through their fur and clean their fur like they normally do. You know, their fur, their mane or whatever. They'll be all scruffy. They won't rub in the dirt anymore and clean themselves off. And they'll be showing you that you're not taking care of yourself either. So there's many, 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 like, personality issues, emotional issues, fear, anxiety, depression, your personality traits, behaviors, the physical, you know, and even, like I said, scars and things that show up in the physical, you know, like, say you got a bump on your head. Well, sometimes these animals can mirror this and, you know, show up with a bump on their head as well in the same place. It's very uncanny. So what to do? What do we do about this? Okay, so here's what we do. So first of all, while I'm talking to them, I thank them profusely. Thank you for being such a gift to your person, to pick up a disease. We didn't even talk about that. Like chronic diseases or illnesses, they can mirror. You know, we talked about the impacted bowel, so that's an example of something chronic. But you could have a chronic disease, like they can mirror cancer. If you have cancer, they can mirror arthritis or something long term. So thank them for being such a gift, that they are willing and in service to you as your, you know, furry protector, to show you a mirror of what your illness is or what you need to see, and something you may not even be aware of. You may get a cancer diagnosis and not even be aware, and you may be taking the animal to the vet. It also gets a cancer diagnosis, and lo and behold, you show up with one too. So sometimes, you know, the animal gets a diagnostic before the human does, and then the human will show up. So if it is a matching diagnosis, or anything that I mentioned before that, with the behavior or characters or anything, so we want to thank the animal. So I, as the animal communicator, thank you. Thank you for being such a gift for your person. It's amazing. You're such a gift. And you can also remind them every single day what a gift you are for mirroring me and showing me what it is that I need to see and what it is that I need to work on, what it is that I need to change. The second thing that we want to do, hold on, my notes just blew away. The second thing that we want to do is to tell the animal and mean it. I mean, don't just tell the animal that you see that it's mirroring you and that you are willing to see it and work on yourself now. Thank you for showing this to me. Now I see it. Now I know I have this. I just got diagnosed or whatever it is. I just went to a therapist and they told me, whatever, I'm bipolar or whatever. You get ADHD or whatever it is, which is not real, by the way. That's just a symptom. And you thank them and then you say, I'm going to now work on myself. I know what I need to see now. You showed it to me. Thank you. Just like children mirror you and your spouse can mirror you, family members mirror you. It's not their issue, it's yours for you to see. There is a Japanese expression that you cannot, I think it's a Buddhist thing. You cannot see the eyelashes in front of your face. You cannot see the eyelashes in front of your face. Okay? Because sometimes you cannot see yourself. You have to have somebody, a friend or a partner or children or a spouse mirror you to show you what you're being like. And that is what the expression means. You can't see your eyelashes in front of your face. So you are going to then agree and mean it. Don't lie to animals. They can hear your thoughts. And that's a whole nother discussion. But mean it that you're going to work on yourself. Okay? You can then tell them that it's okay for them to release it. Thank you. You've made me aware now. I'm going to work on myself. And it's okay for you to release it. I want you to release it. I don't want you to hold on to this. Thank you for bringing this to my awareness. Now I want you to release it, which means releasing the disease, releasing the pain, releasing the whatever it is, releasing the wound, the personality traits, the illness, anything. When I talk to animals and I tell them it's okay to release it, I ask them, are you willing to release and let go of this now that I will make your person aware? When I get done talking to you, I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to make them aware. And I ask them, are you willing to release this? And a lot of times they say, not until my person actually works on themselves. Not until my person releases it. Okay, so there's a negotiation there. So you have to mean it and you have to really dig in and excavate and work on yourself then. You cannot fake this. There's no faking with animals. Okay, we tell each other as humans little white lies, little untruths, little sugar coats, little whatever it is, because we don't want to face the truth and do the hard work. And I'm here to tell you that your animals can hear your thoughts, and they can hear the true thoughts. Whether you call me up and say, Loli, can you tell them, that we're going to a dog park instead of the vet? I laugh and I go, no, I cannot lie to your animal because they can hear your thoughts. You can't lie to an animal when they can hear your thoughts. And when we get to this point in our civilization that we're actually talking telepathically to each other, guess what? No more deceit. No more lies. Only truth. Okay? That's what telepathy is. It's only truth because you're exchanging information via thought forms. Okay? We'll have a whole nother YouTube on that. Okay, so the next thing is you're going to actually then dig in and work on yourself. And again, I do energy healing on humans. I do spiritual healing on humans. I do soul healing. I do the deep stuff. Okay, I do the deep stuff with people. I don't do surface. And if you need my help, then you can find me on my website. It's animals-speak.com. animals-speak.com. And you can also like and subscribe my channel. That would be wonderful. So what are you going to do now? You are going to work on yourself, and while you're doing that, you are going to have them replace this behavior. Just drop it all together replace the physical, ailment, or the physical wound, or the disease, or the personality trait, or whatever it is, the behavior. So you're going to have them release it and say, I'm working on myself, it's a process, I'm getting there. And, let's replace your job with something fun. And I can ask, what job have you always wanted? If you could have any job, what would it be? Instead of having the job to have cancer, because that's a job for you, you can say, oh, what would you like to do if you could have any job? And they'll tell me, oh, I want to, be the class clown or something. They'll show me them rolling on their back and making you laugh. That's a great job. To make you laugh brings stress relief. So we can have them replace their job. Oh, well, you're not doing that anymore. Would you like a new job? And we could also find out their soul purpose. What's your soul purpose in this incarnation? It can't be just to mirror you. Perhaps it can be. Sometimes they just come in for that purpose, just to mirror you, and then that's it. So they might have another soul purpose with you. So we can ask them their soul purpose, their job, what they would like for a new job, and let them slowly release it. And, keep reminding them, thank you for being a gift, I'm working on myself, and you can release it now. Thank you for being a gift, I'm working on myself, and you can release it now. Even if you can't hear them, they can hear you. You can talk out loud, you can talk silently. They will hear you, okay? Just make it repeated so you can remind them, because they've been doing this for a long, long time. Sometimes they've been mirroring you your whole life. Sometimes they've been mirroring you your whole disease process for a long, long time. Sometimes it's years, like the impacted bowel situation, okay? Sometimes it's not like one overnight thing. And then the most important thing here is to work on yourself. If you want to be a light for other people, it doesn't matter how dark and depressed you feel. Do not think I get depressed. I get extremely depressed sometimes. I get extremely negative. I get extremely dark. I get out of it. Whatever I have to do, if I have to call friends, I have to get a healing myself, I have to do my own healing. I have to shift my energy. I get in the ocean. That helps me a lot. Whatever you have to do, you're still bringing light to others. As dark as you may feel, you can still bring your light and your help to other human beings, to your family, to your friends, and especially to people you do not know, especially those on social media. You can impart love and joy into somebody's day that you don't even know on this amazing World Wide Web, internet, social media, Google Earth thing that we live on, okay? So you are here to help each other. We're here to uphold the light in each other, no matter how you feel, okay? So please let me know what you're interested in. I'm going to start a class series. I am interested in doing family night, where you can turn off the TV. You can pick a subject that you want to learn about. We can have a family night. We could do a Zoom, YouTube, Facebook Live, whatever it is, whatever we pick. FaceTime. I have Zoom. We can do a Zoom thing. We can do an interactive class with your whole family. You can ask me questions. And if you're interested in that, please go and email me from my website. My email is really long. It's lowlyjaneanimalcommunication@gmail.com. My website is very easy. It's animals-speak.com. It's a dash, not an underscore. And all one word, animals-speak.com. Please email me or message me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, you name it. Please let me know what you're interested in. And I do sessions. I charge $150. I do animal communication sessions. I do energy healing sessions remotely for any kind of animal. All of my work is done remotely. You can be anywhere in the world, and I can help you. I also do past life sessions. I do past life regression. And I talk to animals that have already passed in the spirit realm, which is an amazing help for grief for animals that you've lost, even if it was years ago. And they may have already come back to you. And I do sessions on reincarnation and all of that. So you have a wonderful, blessed, beautiful day, despite what the outside world looks like. Go into your heart and love one another and yourself. Okay, namaste.